Thank you for watching. Today we have some very exciting news for all LUMIX users. Please stay tuned until the end. We are committed to being a strong partner for creators around the world. We will continue to support LUMIX users through developing innovative products and services for both photography and videography. To serve the needs of creators seeking for more creative capabilities, we have chosen to integrate the Panasonic organization of consumer and professional cameras. New organization has started this month. This will allow us to have a broader touchpoint with creators, so that we can meet their needs. Another way to have a wider and diverse range of customers is by expanding partnership with various companies. As you know, we have a strong collaboration with Leica for joint technology and development. We will continue to expand partnership with various companies to make your photography and videography experiences more exciting. Which brings me to the main point. Today, we are pleased to introduce a new firmware for users of LUMIX S5IIX and S5IIX. This firmware includes compatibility with a solution we have been putting great effort into. We are sure it will significantly improve your photo and video production. Matt and Sean will provide you with more details shortly, as this new firmware will be packed with new features. So please stay tuned. Thank you.
The brand new firmware update released for the S5 II and the S5 IIX realizes major improvements for the in-body stabilization, autofocus performance, and even burst photography modes. Starting with the new in-body image stabilization performance, the S5 II and the S5 IIX are now taking better advantage of the active IS technology found from the G9 Mark II. Now, the in-body image stabilization is being improved in two major ways. First off, users have the ability to select two levels of electronic stabilization, both standard and high. Both of these modes are taking advantage of our perspective distortion correction. This new perspective distortion compensation allows users to activate the high-powered EIS option for correcting phenomenon where straight lines start to get distorted while the camera's in movement. This option will prove great usability for users that are in situations where fast, handheld movement is required with smooth results. Now shifting to burst photography improvements. The S5 II and the S5 IIX are receiving the highly acclaimed pre-burst functionality that was released with the G9 Mark II. Within the S5 II and the Mark IIX, users will be able to take advantage of that 30 frames per second burst mode already on the cameras for both autofocus single and autofocus continuous, while also now applying the pre-burst functionality, which gives you an option for a half-second, 1 second, or 1.5 second pre-burst of stills. Now, these pre-bursts of stills are captured before the shutter is completely pressed, and it provides users the ability to capture both RAW and JPEG stills for maximum flexibility and that perfect opportunity to never miss the moment. Now, to give users better choices while working in the field, the S5 II and the S5 IIX are also receiving autofocus detection improvements that were introduced with the G9 Mark II. These improvements are including a refinement to the human detection option, which produces more accurate detection for subjects like the human body, head, face, and eyes, while also introducing the brand new animal eye detection. The user interface for these detection options has also been unified with the experience found from the G9 Mark II. Users can choose to recognize various subjects separately instead of using one combined detection set of algorithms for everything. In addition to the human eye, face, and body detection, as well as the animal eye detection, the S5 II and the S5 IIX will also be receiving the brand new car and motorcycle detection that was released with the G9 Mark II, further expanding the detection and autofocus confidence available on the LUMIX new ecosystem. Another great feature that's been added in with this new firmware is the ability to record with proxy files. Now, proxy files within the S5 II and the S5 IIX can be enabled throughout various different recording functions and even be filtered when you go into the menu so that you're only seeing the actual available options that proxy is relevant to. When it comes to actually recording with proxy files, you'll be able to select 3 different versions of proxy. You'll have a high, a medium, and a low. And the high option and medium option will both be in 1080p 420 10-bit, while the low option will be in 420 8-bit at 720p. Now, Panasonic LUMIX has had a long history of providing free firmware updates that aim to enhance the usability of our cameras throughout the years. This new suite of firmware updates added for the S5 Mark II and the S5 Mark IIX are a continuation of our philosophy of continual improvement within the LUMIX line. But our improvements to the LUMIX line of cameras doesn't stop at the autofocus and stabilization improvements. Let's discuss some of the other features that have been added in with this brand new firmware update for the S5 Mark II and the S5 Mark IIX.
Hi, I'm Matt Frazier, and I'm coming to you live from Las Vegas right now. What I'm going to talk about are features that will be exclusive to the US market. These are features that are focused on volume photographers. Volume photographers are people who are shooting like school photography, they're doing youth sports photography. That take a lot of pictures of people and need good organizational tools. So you'll be able to unlock special features by downloading an unlock code from the Panasonic US website. These features will include the ability to take a Bluetooth barcode scanner and pair that to the S5II and the S5IIX, so you can embed student data directly into the photo file. In addition, we'll have frame masks specifically for portraits, team sports, as well as group photography. So those are the features that'll be coming in our next firmware update.
So there's also a lot that we haven't talked about yet. Maybe one thing that we've saved. Let's go to the reel.
Our company name is Wild as Heck. We partner with independent women artists and apply their artwork to 100% Australian wool hats.
My company's Matrimony Films. We do about 100 wedding films a year. We have 3 teams that go out and shoot, and then we have teams of editors that edit our content for us. Basically try to tell the story of every single couple that we come across in the most beautiful way we possibly can.
So the PPA is Professional Pickleball Association. I'm in charge of the media department here. We're just the on-site media team that captures all the media, all the players, all the action shots, everything that goes into what goes on in a tournament for PPA.
Quite simply, Cam to Cloud brings the power of Frame IO to the camera. The process of offloading footage can mean a shooter might need to leave the action to get the footage into my editorial pipeline. Cam to Cloud makes that happen in the background, so the shooter never needs to step away.
The longer a product is sitting on my shelf, the longer I'm losing money on it. When I'm running everything by myself, I really do have a limited time frame, and having to spend all my time on set for hours and hours inhibits what I can do that day. So Camera to Cloud allows me to not be on set. I can be working on other things while getting the real-time visuals of what's happening on set so that I can give feedback as we go.
The point of difference for us is we do same-day edits, where they literally see the entire events of the day happen right in front of their eyes. For the last 20 years, we've been doing same-day edits, but we've been doing them in, like a very archaic way, right? Like an editor on site, load that footage, ingest it into the computer. It would take 2 to 3 hours, easy.
Camera to Cloud is a game changer for us. At any given tournament, we shoot anywhere from 35 to 40,000 images, and we turn around about 1,200 images that go straight to social. On the video side, we shoot anywhere from about 2 to 2.5 terabytes, and now with Camera to Cloud, that's all seamless. It automatically populates, and we don't have that time that it takes to get a card from one court to the other.
Hiring somebody who isn't immediately local to me, just the thought of having to fly them in to manage these shoots and the added expense that would bring wasn't something that I could really do. Having the Camera to Cloud, the speed with which I can change and adjust is so wonderful. We can communicate easily, they can communicate so that they can really nail the marketing ideas that we're trying to put into place.
With this Cam to Cloud technology, we're talking about all of this is instantaneous. We're working with proxies where we've got everything coming in and he's working on that edit within minutes of receiving the footage. and he's dropping it in and doing it anywhere in the world that he wants to be. He can be in the comfort of his own edit bay at his house, at our studio. It's incredible the difference that this software is making in our business specifically.
Panasonic.
All right, so I'm sure you have questions about Frame.io Camera to Cloud, and we brought a special guest on who's got some questions and answers for us. Hey, Matthew, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Great to be here.
Yeah, so as we can see, Matthew had a sneak peek of our Frame.io implementation, correct?
I sure did.
All
Yeah.
right. So what do you think? Did we do okay?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's a total game changer for me and my company, the way we're going to be able to deliver so many more same-day edits to our customers than we ever thought possible is exciting. Not to mention, like, lots of times we have 3 teams of guys,
Yeah.
so we can be doing 3 of them at the same time with one editor wherever in the world he wants to be. It's exciting.
So I don't want to give away too much about
Okay,
what your
okay.
future looks like with this. What I really want to focus on right now is the workflow that you currently do. Because frankly, it blew my mind that you're actually trying to do same-day wedding edits. And we're not talking like same day and then you're like emailing it to the client or having them do a Dropbox download. They're seeing this at the wedding within like a few minutes of the cake cutting, right?
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, we're filming all day, and we, traditionally in the past have been pulling cards out of our camera, handing them to the editor. The editor has to go ingest them into the computer, and then put them into his workflow, and then edit on site the day of the wedding. It's taking 8 hours to edit a project, but then at the end of the night, we put up a projector and screen, and we show it to the bride and groom right there on the dance floor at the reception.
Well, and your history in this really is a 20-plus year history, so it wasn't SD cards originally.
Oh my gosh, no. I had a Panasonic DVX 100.
Oh, okay.
So we used, mini DV tape.
Okay.
And we used to actually pull shots off of the tape, and it's one, it's the transfer rate is a minute to a minute, right? So a minute of footage is going to take a minute to transfer. And that's before you bring it into the project and then do all that stuff with it. But yeah, it used to take a ridiculous amount of time from tapes, finding a shot on a piece of tape, and then bringing it into the computer.
Okay, so then your first major milestone to enhance your workflow really was digital and the implementation of SD cards, memory cards for storage.
Yeah, oh my gosh. When we got to SD cards, we thought we were like, it was a huge, upgrade and, the ability for us to do it more seamlessly, a lot faster.
I have to imagine you got deeper into the wedding also, right?
Yeah, so we at first with the tapes, we would maybe pull like 10 to 15 shots and put music to it, and so it maybe be maybe a minute long, maybe. And that was still a magic trick, but then we get SD cards, and now it's like, oh, wait a second, we could do like a mini highlight. We can do a 2-minute, 3-minute, and then as we got better at that and a little faster with our workflow, we were like, how far into the wedding can we get? My editor started to get a little cocky, and he was like, oh, maybe if I get a shot of the, like something from the speeches and throw that in at the end. But with this technology, he's editing real time. We're gonna be able to get an entire highlight, maybe, like basically all the way up till seconds before we show it, right?
Well, and what I think is interesting is that on the photography side, we've seen a trend in weddings where the photographer is almost now expected to be able to put together a slideshow of the ceremony during the meal service, right?
Yep.
But this whole wedding video, same day edit is very unique that you're doing.
Yeah, not a lot of people are as crazy as we are and try to actually turn around a highlight, like a 3-minute highlight on the day of the wedding is gutsy.
Well, and so when you're doing your work, then you don't even have access to those like photo functions right now, those photos that are being taken, right?
Traditionally, never, no.
And so with this Frame.io solution, effectively what we can do is we can set up a single project, and we can give access to the wedding photographers, and if they have Frame.io access, their photos are coming in. Yep. They can have their photo editor pulling those photo files down and doing the photo edits while you're culling their photos, looking for little riches that you can go ahead and put in, the Ken Burns kind of effect into some of those photos, right?
Yeah, and introduce that into our 3-minute video at the end of the night and have a nice hybrid highlight with beautiful photos, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
All right, so something that's new for LUMIX is the ability to do these proxy files. Do you find proxy files to have been useful in your same-day edit workflows?
Yeah, for sure. So, you know,
So previously, were you doing proxies?
previously, no. I mean, like I would shoot 4K, like the last, 5 years, I'm like all 4K because whatever we shoot in, that's what I'm going to be able to turn it around ultimately, like when we have a longer time to edit. But no, so I wouldn't have a proxy that was lower res. I had never had that option before.
Okay. And so now that you have the proxy files, do you find them to be limiting for the same-day deliverable?
No. I thought, like is it going to hold up? Is it going to blow up big enough? I do show it on a projector and screen, and I've just been thrilled with what I've been able to work with at this point and see. It looks fantastic, especially when ultimately you're going to turn it around and put it online. We would take that 4K footage and we would compress it anyway. And you're only seeing it in a small window or on a phone. It's beautiful still.
Right, and so obviously you're doing a same-day deliverable, but you're also delivering a finished project as well. So you're going to still work with those master files that are shot in the camera.
Correct.
And you ultimately want to deliver the full wedding experience with the best possible edit. So what you see this being useful for you is getting a jump start not only on that same-day edit, but also you're beginning to get that jump start on that final project as well, correct?
Oh yeah. I mean, in the past too, like we've been able to have, you have a 3-minute edit. Well, we just need to make it 5 minutes. So we just add a little more like audio, like I love the live audio moments. We do that a lot for our customers. And, like being able to just, stretch out your 3 minute to a 5 minute, you've got a huge head start on your edit already, right? Well, now we're talking about, like, I've been so excited about like trying to wrap my head around the fact that I'm shooting and getting 4K files on one card and proxy 1080 files on the other card. Like, I've never had that option before, and it's, it's kind of like a kid in a candy store a little bit for me.
So when I was in conversation with PRNewswire and I was thinking of this kind of same-day turnaround, my visions for this were a little bit different than what you're doing, which was that for social media deliverables, being able to cut like a sizzle reel for social media deliverables that I can just quickly, when the bride and groom are heading off to the honeymoon suite, I could eventually email them a nice little sizzle reel that they're able to post to their social media, before they even get to the hotel. Do you think that workflow would work in this situation?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The content creator is such a big deal at weddings nowadays, and a lot of people will take that 3-minute same-day edit that we're going to be able to do much more often now.
Yeah.
And they'll be able, like, we can deliver that to them, and they'll be able to cut, their own little 15-second. A lot of brides are like, they want the control. They like the user interface to be able to take it and feel like they made something as well. So to be able to deliver something like this, we're going to see 15-second reels, 30-second reels, all kinds of things like that.
Yeah, and so while I think initially the concept of PRNewswire was really about getting a head start on edits, getting a head start on approvals from clients on takes and things like that, I think that PRNewswire's camera cloud function is even more powerful as a social media and quick deliverables turnaround feature set. So from what you're telling me, it seems like that's probably the way that a lot of people are going to use this.
Oh yeah, I mean they should. I mean the ability for so many wedding videographers to be able to turn something around so quickly. I mean, it's the greatest thing we do. Like when I show a finished product, like you just put shots to music and they get to hear their voice on the dance floor at their wedding. I mean, people cry. They hug us. They're like, it's such a precious memory for them. And the fact that so many people will be able to do it now because the workflow is so much easier.
And I'm going to guess some referral business probably comes from being able to do this every once in a while.
It's how we get the greatest amount of referrals. I wished in the past that I could do it every single time, but like my hair would fall out, and no offense. But no, honestly, like it is so stressful, like in the past, like to try to turn this around so quickly. And the fact that I'm going to be able to do it, or my editor's going to be able to do it off-site in the comfort of his own home, and be able to do it in his own studio. We can be doing 3 Well, at the same time, from 3 different weddings, it's unbelievable. I still have to, I'm so excited about the money-making opportunities that we've got, as well as how many couples are going to be able to get this awesome content on the day of their wedding.
Well, perfect, Matthew. I appreciate you joining us here in Las Vegas for this live stream. Again, I'm super happy that you helped us out with the project.
Yeah.
And I really hope that Frame.io works out for you. So.
Thank you for helping create it. I appreciate it.
Well, I had a very small role, not a whole lot more of it. So.
You're the best.
All right, thanks. All right, so as you can see, we are really excited for Frame.io. And as mentioned by Samora, we're partnering with companies like Leica, like Frame.io for camera to cloud. So keep an eye out for additional partnerships that we'll be offering in the future.